All right. Video fucked up.
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on.
Good one.
Hold on. Let me. I'll go ahead and talk. Do introductions. I'll bring it up.
Okay, what's going on? It's Pop Culture Patriots. Can you hear me okay, panel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. I got a fan going in here. So yeah, I'm on location doing a little adaptive sports. So yeah, this whole year I've been training up for this. So it's going to be an exciting week. I'm up in Aspen, Snowmass, Colorado. So yeah, it should be a blast.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, I'm Drew Outstanding. You can find me on X, post a lot of stuff over there, and then working on growing my YouTube channel, especially with adaptive sports. So that's what I'm doing. Horny Alf, what have you been up to?
Yeah, just mostly gaming content. That's the focus of my channel. I am taking it to. I normally stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday during the week, but I'm taking a break tomorrow because Tuesday night's gonna be a ladies' night. So I got a bunch of ladies from this corner of the internet are gonna be joining me to play some Phasmophobia. But yeah, still playing through Skyrim. I played a little bit of that today. Got interrupted by guys doing lawn work outside. So, but yeah, let's talk pop culture.
Hell yeah, tiny but fierce. Who are you? What do you got going on?
Well, I'm Tiny but Fierce. I mostly you find me on X or on other people's YouTube channels. I do pop culture, politics, history, every part of geekdom except gaming. I somehow have been able to never get into video gaming. I've never been a part of that world, but some tabletop, and that's about it. But everything else, comics, sci-fi, fantasy, all of it. I love all of that stuff. I think that's it.
Hell yeah. And then we got our guest, our resident guest, regular kind of guy, all things firearms and other cool stuff, games. Alec Baldwin's Finger, who are you and what do you do?
I have a YouTube channel where we primarily talk about gaming. And speaking of gaming, I've been playing this new addictive game. I started a entrepreneurial venture inside of it called ABF Industries, and so far I'm selling marijuana and crystal meth in Schedule 1. So having a lot of fun with that. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Is that one of those gaming things where you actually create something in the game, but people actually pay real money for it?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be super illegal if that turned out to be.
Well, I just remember many years ago when I first got sick and I couldn't work anymore. One of my friends was like, dude, you just get into this game and you just farm all this shit that takes forever that nobody wants to do. And then you can sell it to people for real money. I was like,
oh, yeah.
What?
I mean, that's any game that has grinding in it pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, awesome. Yeah, I'm asking ABF to be here so we can go over a trailer, Rust, by Alec Baldwin. So it's been a long history.
I want to try this again. I want to try showing our new intro. It loaded again. I don't know what happened. Like it didn't have it loaded for some reason, but let's try this again real quick.
And Tiny's the show. Pop Culture Patriots under the spotlight, breaking it down till it's raw in the night. Laughs all wild, opinions hit hard. Download their echoes, they'll leave you scarred.
Yeah. Thanks, Horny Alf. Horny Alf put that together.
I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a great appearance at the end there with the flag. So patriotic.
Yeah.
little bit of frog eye. But,
yeah. I was fighting the hurricane, with the flag.
You got other things on your mind. I get it.
Hurricane can't take America down. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to hear from Chad. Who has the best intro on there? Is it me, Tiny, or Alf? I like Alf's at the end.
Oh, in my underwear.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're gonna go. There's a lot of lore when it comes to Alec Baldwin, Rust, set experience and progress on there. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some more on that eventually. Who the hell? Exactly. Maybe we need that clip too. That clip is going around. Have you noticed that, ABF?
Someone else made it on Twitter or sent it to me. I don't even know who the person is. I started following them though, but they just randomly sent me that. And it just kind of caught on. Now Geeks and Gamers
Jeremy's
uses it too.
It all the time, and I thought I saw other people. Awesome. And then I asked Comics Dad to come on here, and he asked if he could have his Mrs. Comics Dad, kinda. So yeah, I'd love to hear who you guys are, what you've been doing, what kind of genres you're into, or IP, or kind of what's been going on in your world.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I appreciate you guys letting Mrs. Comics over here come on and hang out with us as well. Because lately, the channel first started with me back at like the end of December. I'm still really new to all this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But over the last probably month or so, Mrs. Comics has really kind of become a staple and part of the channel. Her and I have a bi-weekly show that we do together. That runs opposite of a bi-weekly show that I do, where I have a guest on and we just talk comics and content creation and whatever else is going on. But the channel started initially because I just wanted to get out there and kind of reinvigorate my own love for comics and other people's as well. So I have a series. It's called Comics Read Along. And that was pretty much the focus of the channel at first. And it's just me reading through comic books. And then kind of over the last few months, I've been coming up with different ideas. I now have a monthly video series where I highlight an independent comic creator. And there's more stuff all going on up in here in this mess of craziness. But also we've been doing a soft launch over on Rumble for the last few weeks as well. So now Comics Dad is on Rumble and YouTube.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, the best way to do it is jump in just head first and just kind of figure it out along the way. That's how I've been doing it. A lot of other people.
Oh yeah, yep. That's pretty much what it's been. Kind of stumbling my way along with my potato laptop over here that I use for everything. The goal is eventually to upgrade, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, sorry, I tugged on her earbuds by accident. That's pretty much actually a great summary for kind of our dynamic just off the computer, not even just on. But thank you guys so much for having me on. And then when you told me that ABF was going to be on, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's a great idea. You definitely need somebody not me as your primary guest.
No, that's all fun. It's a small panel conversation. Just kind of take it wherever. So yeah, it's kind of what we do. It's a Sunday, just wrap up the week kind of stream. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Oh, and then the other thing I just forgot, I also do gaming streams a couple of times a week as well. Just I kind of fell into that after I started the channel initially. Somebody's like, "Oh, do you play Marvel video games and Batman and all that?" I was like, "I can." And then it just developed. From there that I just play whatever I feel like playing.
Okay. What kind of games do you like to play right now?
Right now, I mean, the Mrs. we've both been actually, go ahead. You haven't even talked yet. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
But it's okay. I usually don't talk.
Tell everybody what we've been playing.
So right now, well, for me personally, I like Power World and Disney Dreamlight Valley. I know it's like a kid game, but I love it. I've been playing it for over a year. I was a beta tester when it first came out, fell in love with it. But our biggest thing that we play is Power World. We are all into that because we both love Pokemon. It's almost like Pokemon, but with guns. It's freaking phenomenal. So we just have fun running around shooting things and just enjoying it.
I'm surprised, ABF, you haven't played it on the stream or something yet. Actually,
I've played it. In fact, I was running a dedicated server for it with some friends for a while. So
were you? Yeah, I haven't been playing it on the channel. It's just been in my own time. But on the channel, I've been playing Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, just because it seemed like it was so over the top nonsense pirate fun. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And throw in some new age modern crime Japanese syndicates in there. Sure, why not? Don't mind the cat.
What's some of your top games of all time?
Top games of all time. Well, I grew up mostly on the Nintendo 64, But top games of all time in no particular order would probably be, if I had to pick a top 3 franchise, Chrono Trigger is up there always. And if anybody never doesn't put Chrono Trigger at least in their top 5, they're insane. I personally love the Mass Effect franchise. Always had a special place in my heart. And then just pretty much all the Mario stuff. Super Mario Brothers from back on SNES. Never had a regular Nintendo and NES, so never really got to experience that. But all the way up through now on the Switch, almost all the Mario stuff is always fun. So.
Yeah, the party games are great. I didn't have it was streaming, but I had some people over and we were playing like the Mario All Stars. So it's like the Super Nintendo game of Mario 3 and stuff. And they had the battle one where you go back and forth. And we played that for probably like 3 hours. So it's like, why didn't I stream this? There had to be a way I could stream this and laugh at it. But yeah, those battle games are fun. And like you said, the party. I hear people talk about doing Mario Party type deal stuff too, and yeah, those are good times.
Oh, yeah, it's always
Mrs.
fun.
Comics. Oh, sorry. I just realized I had been muted earlier when you spoke, and I wanted to say I thought that was really cool that you got to be a beta tester for that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I actually found it and applied to go onto it, and then after they put the bugs out and everything, I bought the game, and now I'm on the new expansions coming out. Well, they don't know if it's gonna be an expansion or an add-on. We don't know yet, but it's supposed to come out like in the summer, and it's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland, which is my favorite movie of all time. I love Alice in Wonderland, so I'm really excited about it. I hate Disney. I'm letting you know right now, I can't stand Disney, but I love the game. So it's
that makes sense.
I don't like Disney, but I like the game.
Well, I think you're in the same boat and we are in the same boat as everybody else. It's modern Disney that we hate.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
and see, I have to disagree with him though, because I grew up I'm from '87, so I grew up a little bit older than him. So I like the old time Sega games, NES. I don't like all the new stuff that he likes, like 64 and all that. I'm old school. Give me a Sega.
It's funny that you call N64 new.
She's got that old soul.
I grew up with I grew up with Atari, so like
it's almost 30 years old.
She's not even 40 yet, and she calls it old.
I'm
so.
turning
I'm 43.
Yeah, in 1 year I'll be. Yeah, it's scary to say that.
Don't worry about it. I'm about to turn 41, and even though I never played the games, almost everyone I knew played the game. So I remember Atari. I remember the Sega Genesis. I remember all of those. Absolutely.
That was the best.
I still have them all.
Nice.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I'm a console collector. I have some pretty rare ones too.
Cool.
If we had space and the disposable finances to do so, she'd get very mad at me because I would probably go back and hunt them all down.
No, I wouldn't, because I'd be playing them.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I got the pass. You all heard it.
Awesome. But yeah, speaking of like Disney, what kind of IPs do you like? Either past, present, Star Wars, Star Trek.
Okay,
Marvel.
So here's the thing. So I love Star Wars, but only stop making fun of my accent.
Okay, you sound like you're from Boston.
I am from New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
I'm from North Jersey. He's central. I'm north.
Yeah, I'm from the part of the state where
they don't have accents.
Talk like normal human beings.
Okay, so I lived in Jersey.
I was born in Brooklyn, so I can talk like this too if you want.
I love you. You're awesome.
I lived in Jersey for a very short time, and it was central. So East Hampton.
See that? Yeah. I know.
Okay.
I'm north. I'm from like right at the tip of New York City and meets Jersey. Like that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So.
Primary Rutgers University proper was my backyard, basically.
But to answer your question, I love Star Wars, but I only like it from the early 2000s and back to the 70s. I don't like the new crap. My kitchen right now is full of everything Star Wars.
He's making fun of your accent.
He always does.
John Ambler is a mod of mine, and he comes into our chats all the time.
Star Wars.
He stirs the pot, and John Ambler, one of the best mods out there for that reason.
That's great.
So my kitchen is full of artwork from Star Wars from like the 70s. I have toys in the original packaging that are all on my wall from Empire Strikes Back and the 2000 movies. I don't go anything over that. I personally just feel like once Disney got it, they screwed everything up.
Yep.
I hate it all. I hated Mandalorian. I didn't like any of it. Like, I'm old school. And Ghostbusters. Not the Ghostbusters, like the stupid.
Ghostbusters isn't Disney.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's the only two things I like is Ghostbusters and Star Wars. But when it comes to Disney, it's mostly Star Wars. I love Ewoks. Like, I love Ewoks. They're my favorite. And I do like princesses. The only one I like is Snow White. That's the only one I like. Not the new movie. The new movie was horrible. I'm not watching it. I like the old school 40s Snow White. That's the ones that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, Disney is not my thing. We went to, 2 years ago?
Something like that.
I could not wait to go home. The second day, I was like, "Can we go home now?" Like, I want out of here.
I went there in high school to the Disney World, and I had a great time. Epcot was awesome, but I wouldn't want to go back now. Not at all.
Well, here's the problem. I worked at Disney for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think working there, it killed the magic for me. Because people don't know behind closed doors how they treat their cast members. They're horrible. They're horrible human beings.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, it's bad. I know people that I used to work with that were homeless in their cars because they wouldn't leave Disney, and they had no money, like, because they weren't paying them enough. And people were homeless because they didn't want to leave the job. I was like, no, that's not happening. Like, I can't live like that.
Yeah.
But as for the Ewoks, I think everybody loves the carnivorous teddy bear. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a carnivorous teddy bear?
Who wouldn't, you know?
Give me 1 second. Let me see. How do I change my name to just? I'll take Comics that out. Mrs. Comics.
You know, I'll be controversial here, and I think a lot of people in the chat might agree with me. I didn't like the Ewoks in the third movie in Return of the Jedi. I think they changed the pace of the movie. I think because all the stuff in the throne room with Luke and the Emperor was awesome. The space battles were awesome. I didn't like the ground battle stuff in that movie. It's about a third of the movie that I just didn't like. But, you know, overall, the stuff in the throne room makes it worth it because that is awesome. But
for sure. Yeah, and you're not the only one, Horny Alf. I actually despise the Ewoks. That's why in EA Star Wars Battlefield or Battlefront, whatever the title was, I can't remember. But
Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how I could forget that, especially from
Battlefield
original
and Battlefront.
But
they're the same.
Yeah. But they had the mode where you're the stormtrooper being hunted by the Ewoks. I love that because I went and shot all the Ewoks. It was great. But I'll make my answer to the original question just a lot easier. I like Lilo and Stitch. I like Robin Hood. Those are things I watched as a kid. So I'm excited about the live action Lilo and Stitch. And then Marvel was my thing up until, Disney went and not when they acquired it, but once the rot really started taking root.
No, when they acquired it.
Well, that was for you. For me, it was Marvel was still my thing, and then once the rot really got in there, probably
like around 2013.
I started noticing it. Yeah, maybe a little later. Once I really started noticing it, which is probably around like 2017 in the comics, then I was like, I'm gonna maybe take a few steps back from Marvel and just only certain things once I hear maybe like word of mouth or something. But
yeah, and then the movies started copying the comics, which is why the movies are in a bad state they are.
Yes, because you should take the comics that don't sell and turn those into movies instead of the comics that do sell, because that makes sense.
Well, and now I think it came out a few weeks ago in a report that somebody, I forget what website did it. It may very well have been like That Park Place or something. But now what they're doing, or at least what their plans are, is everything new they're putting out is going to somehow tie into a Disney Plus show or a movie or something. Well, maybe not everything, but like their major titles and their major storylines, the big events, crossover events. That's all stuff they're putting out to be just cannon fodder for them to say, okay, let's put this right into a movie.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing with me. Like with Disney, I have a problem with Disney with Marvel because I'm a big She-Hulk fan. Like I love She-Hulk. Like I have
they butchered that.
They really did. I have her pops. I have like all her comics. Like I am a diehard She-Hulk fan. Like I love her. In fact, when I worked at Disney, I met Stan Lee and I got to dress up as She-Hulk. That was the best moment of my life.
Nice.
So I'm a huge fan. So when I went and, saw the show, I was like, this is horrible. Like, I hate this. Like, I was so upset about it. So, yeah, Disney can kick rocks.
Yeah.
We should
So
probably
there's our
add it
very,
to that.
very long joint answer on Disney IPs that we like and don't like.
Yeah.
There you go. No, that's the point. It's it's really interesting to see what people are into, when they fall off, and when they look into other things. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been slowly getting away from all that stuff, but I'm a completionist, so I want to see like the end of these things. But you really got to treat it like Endgame was the end of it, and it's like, if you ask somebody off the street who are the Avengers right now, like, you're going to get different answers. You're going to get people, random normies are going to think Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and then all of us will answer it a different way. And then they introduce, the kid Avengers, and it's just a mess. And now all the stuff with all the chairs, we'll talk about that too. But yeah, before we do that, Horny Alf, you want to talk to the chat, bring them up?
Yeah, let's bring them up real quick. All right. First off is Legatus Legionist. He is my wrench extraordinaire for my channel. He helps out with
Always first.
wrench duties. Tomby showed up. He said, let's go. And then he said, damn it, early again.
Yeah.
What's up, Tomby?
Alex, if I may, real quick, just if you go back to Tomby. Tomby is actually going to be my next guest on my show, Talking Shop, in 2 weeks coming up.
Nice.
So Tomby's a great guy. He and I have gotten to talk a little bit. So shout out to Tomby.
I'll say this about Tomby: he likes to help out smaller channels as much as he can. In fact, he has an entire show dedicated to highlighting smaller channels to try to get them over a certain hump or wherever they're at. So, all right. Good. So next up, Lex Ludendi. He's one of the regulars on my channel. Of course, your wrench is here. Always welcome. H Dizzle, another regular on my channel. He says, hey. What's up, H Dizzle? Who else we got? Dom H showed up.
Hey, Dom.
Hey, Dom.
Always welcome. He's awesome. I have him on my game streams on during the weekend. Who else we got? Major Zap. Is that one of your viewers? I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Well, welcome.
Welcome, anyways.
Yeah, Major Zap is he hangs out with and does some stuff with Steel Lega History.
Okay.
Oh, great.
And I've
awesome.
Steel Leg is a cool guy. I've talked to him a few times. I've gone and hung out in his chats, and Major Zap was there too when I first started out, like in the first week or two. Steel Leg and Major Zap, they're like super complimentary, super nice about everything. I was like, oh, you guys are awesome, thanks.
Yeah,
Major Zap, it's good seeing you, dude.
Me and Steel Leg, our channels have kind of come up in parallel together growing at basically the same rate. So,
oh, nice.
It's just such a great community that everybody can get to know each other and can go on each other's streams and can help each other out. I love our community.
But yeah, that's it for our chat. Major Zaps. Oh, he says, I'm the team lead for Extra Life. What's Extra Life?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Extra Life, as far as I know, Extra Life is a charity organization that
that's what I thought.
Yeah, you do, especially with tabletop RPGs and stuff. Okay. I know I actually did an Extra Life event at a comic shop back when I was living in New Jersey still it was probably about a decade ago at this point, but we did a 24-hour tabletop event, and all the donation or all the proceeds that the comic shop made towards doing the tabletop stuff went to Extra Life.
Nice.
Cool.
Good to hear.
So yeah, Major Sap, if you're a part of Extra Life and you contribute and help out with them, good on you, brother.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, let's we don't have a ranking show this week, but because there's really nothing in the box office, there's no major shows coming out. It's just like a big limbo right now. I'm catching up on, or I'm working on 1923 right now, so haven't seen the current episode, but the last couple in season 2 have been absolutely amazing. I don't know anybody else watching 1883, 1983, Yellowstone, that type of deal.
Yeah, the Taylor Sheridan shows are fantastic. I love all of them.
Yeah, I got into it, and I'm like, I'm hooked. As far as right now, it's just everything's golden. and it might not always be that way, but all this stuff is Landman is
Yeah.
current,
Landman is
you know,
so good.
present day. Billy Bob Thornton just being him, John Hamm, you know, Demi Moore, all that oil Texas stuff. And then, yeah, the Yellowstones, the 1883. I like the 1923, just a change of the Industrial Revolution, just really getting into all the stuff. And, the battle disputes over land and resources.
Oh, yeah, I want to watch 1923 season 2. I saw season 1. I'm not currently subscribed to Paramount Plus, but I know it just finished, so I'm probably going to subscribe for a month to be able to binge it. And then, but I did finish watching Reacher. Reacher's another good one that's out right now. So this current season of Reacher, it's kind of a slow burn the first half of the season, but it ramps up.
I like that slow burn though. It felt like it was a return to the season 1, which was my favorite.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. They're doing it's like investigative, and then after the second half, it just ramps up and you get a lot of action. Yeah, so I have to highly recommend season 3 of Reacher. If you haven't watched it, it's awesome.
This morning I actually put when you guys put out kind of just an idea of what we were going to be talking about. I had initially said I was only about 2 episodes into the current season of Reacher, and after you guys had said that, I was like, all right, well, you know what? I think I need to just jump in because I've been way behind on everything, and I am just 1 episode behind now. I got 5 episodes in today, so I'm good if we want to talk about Reacher.
Oh yeah.
Well, Drew, if someone wants to start, sorry.
The season finale of Reacher is I don't want to spoil it, but everyone knows that Reacher and Polly are heading towards a fight at the end of season 3. Well, you get that fight. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but yeah, it's crazy.
What were you saying, Tiny?
Well, I was going to say I haven't actually started any of the 1893, 1920 that show, but I've heard so much good stuff about it. But with all the different time periods that came out at different times, where do you think someone should start with that?
That's what I was wondering. I just jumped in it because they're just the same family.
Yeah,
so they're different time periods.
Yeah, they're all related, just different time periods.
I just know that they didn't come out in chronological order, so I didn't know if anybody thought it's better to watch it in chronological order now that they're all out, or you should watch it the way it was put out.
In my opinion, it's a preference. So the 1883 is like the Wild West and like scaling, just going across like the Oregon Trail type feel to it with cowboys and stuff. 1923 is like they're already settled, they got their house, they're doing the cattle stuff, and now they're doing border disputes and the whole technology. I haven't gotten into Yellowstone yet just because I haven't been able to watch that
Yellowstone's like a modern Western.
Modern.
Yeah.
But it was the first one that was actually produced, right?
Yeah.
I would say start at Yellowstone. And if you don't like it, check out 1883. And if you don't like that, then you don't like the shows, probably.
Okay, cool.
I like Yellowstone.
I'm really far behind. I just finally finished X-Men 97 last night.
Nice.
So I'm quite far behind on a lot of this stuff that I want to get up on.
Go ahead, Mrs. Comics.
Oh no, I was saying I like Yellowstone. I actually watched all of it except, unfortunately, with Paramount Plus, when you buy it, they don't have the half of the other season left on there yet. They haven't added it on.
Well, that was on Peacock that we were watching actual Yellowstone.
No, it was on Paramount.
Paramount has 1883 and 1923.
Who was it that we went through?
Peacock is the base.
It was Peacock.
Yeah.
So we couldn't watch the rest of it because I love Yellowstone.
And we don't have cable, so where it stopped at Peacock was the second half of that last season, where all the we already know the spoilers and how it all ends and everything, but we just weren't able to watch it because Peacock was not airing those at the time. But we heard everybody talking about it though.
It gets away from all the green screens, the volume, it's got real sets, real, people. So then you got to depend on the writing, which Taylor Sheridan's been crushing it, and whoever, doing the writing and directing with these shows. And then you get the actors. So like we said, Billy Bob Thornton, Harrison Ford, Robert Patrick. So he's great on Twitter, on X, if you follow him. So he's always talking like T1000 stuff. That's premiere revival things, which is really cool that he's always like just doing a random video with some experienced actor, or sports person too. So he just seems like a genuine kind of dude. And so he's in there. yeah, just all these pretty good stuff. Oh, and then the 1883 was like a couple of country singers, Faith Hill and
Her husband.
her husband. I can't
Tim
blank
McGraw.
out. Tim
Tim
McGraw.
McGraw. And
they're
Tim
That
McGraw.
man is
Tim-
finer than wine.
Hey,
Tim
Oh,
McGraw
he has
got-
aged beautifully. He has
He-
aged
he has.
beautifully.
Well,
Let me
he-
tell you, I
he
love
was-
1883 because of him. They
Yeah,
did
he-
phenomenal.
Yeah, he was doing some weightlifting because he was skinnier than that. He did some.
Yeah.
He buffed up for that show.
Oh, you actually prepared for a role.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like-
because like the other movie, the one he was in where they is a rich family in Memphis that adopts a black man or black kid. What's the name of that movie? He was in it, and he was kind of pudgy
Blindside.
in that movie. Yeah, Blindside. He was
Blindside.
kind of
okay.
he was
Oh,
a little
okay.
he was a little pudgy in that movie. So when he went and did this role, he got ripped for it.
Yeah, that's
But
the thing
the
for
question
nowadays.
is
Like
he-
most
He
actors
actually
don't
took
even.
responsibility for his character. He actually
Yeah.
prepared, as Drew said, prepared for the role. You know, something that people used to do just automatically.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And
either
now
they
it's
had
just here's a
managers or
script
whatever,
and go ahead
but
and do your best.
they did research and then they, worked on themselves as well. And you don't get that anymore. You get the Rachel Zeglers who just like,
Speaking of people who don't actually prepare for roles, Major Zap and Legatus have just depressed me immensely in the chat because it turns out there may be a
Oh.
female Fight Club coming out.
Oh, fuck that.
of course,
That's a movie that did not need a sequel.
No,
No.
it didn't. It really didn't.
no sequel, no remake, no reboots, no.
This sounds like Ghostbusters 2016 all
Oh
over again.
yeah.
Yeah.
I spent 8 years as a wrestler. I was the only girl on my high school wrestling team. I was one of the only women on a Division III men's college team. I trained with 2 of the women who went to the Olympics in 2004. I'm all for women being able to be fighters, but that is stupid. The idea of a female fight club is moronic. Oh,
Yeah, more to see with that. And that's why we're talking about
Yeah.
Yellowstone and all these.
yeah.
Taylor
Sorry, go back to
Sheridan-
the good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's why we're here. We talk about the bad stuff and the good stuff, and yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
You mentioned the T1000, so
Oh,
I just,
nice.
I just got this in the
Nice.
mail the other day.
I
That's
love that.
awesome.
That is so
Yeah.
Coffee
cool.
mug. This is the handle.
Yeah, I want to do some kind of stream on Robert Patrick because he's been in everything and not like huge roles, B, C, D roles. He was in a movie Double Dragon. Like speaking of games, Double Dragon. They made a movie about that around.
He did it.
the
He was on
Terminator
a
2.
he was on a law enforcement show for a long time on TV.
Yep.
I can't remember which
Yeah,
one it
He
was.
filled
but
in for Mulder and X Files, and Mulder left when David Duchovny left.
Nice.
So he did that for a little bit. Yeah, he's been all over the place. Just quality actor.
Yep.
But yeah, going back to Reacher. The first season was amazing. I didn't know what to expect. That was great. Second season, it was more of just a group, like his past unit. So they're doing like the flashbacks and the current day, and it was okay. Not as good as 1. And then ABF, like you said, 3 is more like 1. Not the same, but you'll never get it. But
And-
it's
and
just,
I-
return.
I can explain that. The second season was based on a book that was kind of a out of the norm for most of the Reacher books, because most of the Reacher books are him being just kind of wanders into a town, he discovers a problem, tries to fix the problem, sleeps with the girl, then leaves, when he fixes the problem. So that second season was a book, but it was a very different book from the rest of the books. So I'm surprised they did that one so early in doing these seasons, because that was a later book anyways. But yeah, this third season is a return to what you saw in season 1.
Yeah, I keep saying that I think that Reacher works really well when it's like a really tight, story. And when he's just in these small towns, like that's the feel that you get. But with season 2, you had him going back to his past unit and stuff like that and learning
Right.
about him. It just felt like it was too big of a story. It was just more fun when he's just, when it's just Reacher in a small situation in a small town,
Yep, teaming
Yeah.
up with like the local FBI, DEA, whatever the
And,
deal is.
and that's what you get with season 3. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Did it
Yeah,
seem
and-
to anybody that season 2 was them trying to like move it in a different direction and seeing if that would work, and then decided no one likes this as much, we'll
Well,
go back to the original? Or
I don't think it was them moving in a different direction. I think they were just picking a different book because
okay,
they wanted to do something different, but because the books already exist. So But that book that they used for season 2 is out of the norm for most of the Reacher books. Like most of them are in line with season 1 and season 3 in the way they do things. So
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, ABF.
Well, I was gonna go off on a tangent really quick. The head of Amazon Studios was just fired, and I think that the reason
I have
why
I have that article.
Yeah, I think the reason why she was fired is because she was putting her hands in too many of the shows, whereas some of these other
you could throw
shows
it up.
like Reacher
Yeah,
and
I'll
also the
bring that
Terminal
up.
List were those were projects that didn't have her hand in it, and they're actually more successful.
Yeah, so Jennifer Salke, who is behind the creation of the Rings of Power and what's the other one? The other fantasy show they got,
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time, which I never read those, but I hear there's a lot of dedicated fans to the books.
Yeah,
Oh,
there is.
they have a huge fan base, and as far as I know, none of them like the show.
Yeah, none of them like it. None of the Lord of the Rings true fans of Lord of the Rings like Rings of Power. It's a garbage show. It's a show that takes events because they were trying to highlight the second age of Middle Earth, which is before the third age, which is when Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit takes place in.
Yep.
And they were taking events that are thousands of years apart and squishing them into like a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. And she was part of the reason for that.
My theory on... I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say,
go
my theory on the timing of all this is actually kind of funny because if anything, you would think Rings of Power and how god-awful that, not even just the first, but the second season would have been her nail in the coffin. But
They're
I
making
think
a season
really...
3.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think really what happened, well, we'll see. They may decide to scrap it now.
It's
that
already
she's
been
gone,
greenlit, so
Yeah.
it would, we'll see.
But my theory, though, is that because Jeff Bezos was at the inauguration. So my theory is because Jeff Bezos decided to kiss the ring, he decided to go through and maybe start cleaning up a little bit. That's just my personal theory.
Here's the problem.
You can't
The show's already had 2 shitty seasons. I don't think they can fix it. They're not going to be able to bring the diehard Tolkien fans back in. It's not going to happen.
Wait,
Oh no!
So
If J.R.R. Tolkien rose from the grave and started writing season 3, I still don't think you could get people to come back to it. It was so horrific.
What about Picard season 3? That fixed everything, didn't it?
No.
Yeah, but Picard seasons 1 and 2 didn't completely miscue the entire history of Star Trek.
You sound like a chud to me.
I mean, it destroyed a lot of the characters, but it didn't. I'm sorry, Discovery just.
Well, here's the difference.
Anything after 2009 is no longer Trek to me. I'm just gonna put it that way.
Seasons 1 and 2 of Picard, you can completely disregard, and it has no effect, almost no effect on season 3, because they weren't exactly totally connected. The problem with seasons 1 and 2 of Rings of Power is Tolkien laid out the entire history of Middle Earth.
Yep.
From the very beginning until right up to the Lord of the Rings and through the Lord of the Rings. And he even had a book he was writing to follow up Lord of the Rings for another war, but he disregarded. He decided not to write it. So everything's written out. And these people have taken all that history and just defiled it. Yep. So there's no recovery from this.
Well, remember in season 1, they made the orcs white and they put the black people in chains. But then in season 2, they've tried to make you sympathize with the orcs. They're just a family. And they just want to, live and do orc things.
I mean, is it bad that I still wanted to kill the orcs myself?
And anyone who knows Tolkien lore is the elves are not black. They're pale skinned. They're white. They emanate light.
Anything that lives underground doesn't see the sun.
The dwarves are
in color.
The dwarves are light skinned. That's just how he wrote it. And the thing is like they complain, oh, there's not enough diversity in Middle Earth. There was diversity. They just decided not to represent that accurately in the show. Because
I've said for years that if you read it, if you look at Silmarillion and you read all the other stuff, there were other places that he never actually went to. He said, there were people from East or something, and the people
Well,
from
yeah,
the South.
the
and
Easterlings were just depicted as being like kind of Middle Eastern / Asian. You had the people from the South were more of much darker colored skin or Middle
they had
Eastern
people
looking.
they could have used instead of changing what we already know and what was already established.
And it's proven that Sauron did not have complete control of every race in the East or the South, so there could have been breakaway rebel factions. Yeah, I see that.
And Sauron wasn't as sexy. He wasn't supposed to be sexy in any way, shape, or form. He wasn't supposed to have any redeeming values. I can't.
In the Second Age, when he was able to depict himself in elf form, yeah, he was probably pretty majestic. Kind of like a lot of people, think of if like the devil was to show up, he wouldn't show up in evil form. He'd look beautiful, because he's trying to deceive people.
Lucifer, the Morning Star.
Yeah. And that's your basic theme of Sauron before the end of the Second Age, because he was in Numenor when Numenor was destroyed, so he lost his physical form, his beautiful physical form.
He had multiple forms even before that, and just even as an elf, he should have looked majestic, but not like I'm trying to get with fucking Galadriel. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Galadriel in the books, Galadriel basically sniffed him out right away and realized something was off with him, and that's why he left and went somewhere else to deceive someone else.
Yep.
It was written by a bunch of people who had Lord of the Rings fanfic at home. That's what it was.
And people who don't know what the majesty of truth, feminine power is. Galadriel in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, she is unbelievably powerful. She's unbelievably strong. She's unbelievably beloved, and she doesn't have to be out there freaking doing a man spread and not killing the ice troll before it kills our entire group. Everything about Galadriel in that, and everything interacting with her was so the reverse of what it should have been.
And to close out this article, do I think anything's going to change now that she's gone? Absolutely not. It's a bunch of activists they hired, all these studios. I don't think anything's going to change. I think season 3 is going to be a bomb as well. I don't think they're going to continue after season 3. I think it's done after that point.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of COVID holdovers that they're just trying to get this stuff out, just push it out, kind of do whatever you can. But yeah, on a business side, Amazon has all this money. Amazon Video is just an extra thing that everyone gets when you have Amazon Prime. But now they have ads on it too. So it's not like you can just put on a show and just watch it, right there. Now you got ads and now they're, oh my gosh. Yeah. They're putting ads that you have things that you could have in your cart, or even it says like add to your cart. And I'm like, I don't want to be thinking about this while I'm trying to watch a show or a movie.
He's joking, obviously.
Yeah. But no, like I could see a lot of these not middle management, but these heads of certain things just like disappearing, just going away, unless they're like Kathleen Kennedy and other people where they know all the secrets from 40 years of Hollywood. They're gonna go on to do different stuff. They probably don't want to take all the torment online and be known as that person. I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy doesn't care. They can make a South Park episode about her and nothing will change. It's been over a year, like a year and a half since that episode went. But yeah, these other ones, I'm guessing they're going to go off and go, work at some company, something like that. Right. So hopefully, but yeah, Amazon has all this money to just. My thing with Amazon Prime is that they just try a little bit of everything. They brought back Street Sharks. So the animated cartoon from the 90s, like all these like horrible like Ninja Turtle knockoffs in a way, like Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, all this stuff. It's just like, golden stuff, but they're horrible, but it's better than the crap we're getting today. So it's like,
wait, they brought those back? They're on Amazon?
Well, the old show is on Amazon. Yeah.
Oh, Street Sharks was my jam. I don't care if they were not on Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, I saw your facial reaction when he said that.
Because I actually I don't know if you guys are familiar with the chain Books A Million, but they have like basically a secondhand store under their umbrella as well, and there's one local to us. So every time we go in there, I see like two of the Street Sharks in pops I keep looking at her. I go, can I please? She's like, no, we have enough pops. We sold a bunch. You're not getting any more. But it's Street Sharks.
You a liar.
Okay, recently she said I could, but before recently.
Good money management.
There, I will fact check myself. I will correct myself.
If you go into that place and they have pops for Biker Mice from Mars, you contact me. I will send you the money.
Oh, for sure.
You get it for me.
I'll work for you.
Unfortunately,
I'll
not
look for
yet.
you.
But if they have Street Sharks pops, I'm pretty sure Biker Mice from Mars are not too far behind.
But yeah, my guess in the next 5 years, a lot of these streamings, they're going to merge and acquire each other and then license out. It's going to be something like that. I can already see it happening now with
It's exactly what happened with cable
Max.
originally.
I think it's Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max are now up with a bundle. So you can get all of those. And even when you log into Disney Plus, it shows that Anora movie that either was nominated or it was, whatever.
Well,
sexually crazy. It's right on Disney Plus. So it's not even, it's Disney Plus and name only.
I think
Basically.
Paramount Plus will fold because they're in debt by huge numbers. Max is in debt by huge numbers. I think
Max is, or however they are with HBO now, and then Warner Brothers is a part of it. So how WB does, which how DC does too, with James Gunn in the next couple of years. All this is going to have like a cascading effect, either up or down.
And a lot of people aren't taking into account the amount of free streaming services that are out there that have commercials. Like Tubi has gotten huge. They're buying up every bit of stuff that bigger services aren't buying, and they've got a catalog and they're free. And I think that's going to be the way to go, is because a lot of this, like being able to have no ads on your service, that's going to eventually go away with all of them because they can't. They can't.
And if you're
going to
do with ads anyway, why pay for it?
Oh, I love Tubi. I hope to God nobody from my job is watching right now. But when I'm working, I work from home. When I work, because I work from home at my computer.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. But when I put on I keep my iPad next to my computer while I'm working. I put on Tubi because I love horror. Like I'm a horror chick. Like I love horror. So I put all the horror movies on, and I'm like, this is awesome. I can watch horror all day long. It's free. And guess what? Hopefully, nobody at work is reading this or seeing this right now because I'm screwed. That's a write up.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, and also Tubi's great because it's got the original original Transformers animated series in its entirety. So
yeah, there's gonna be some big changes in the next 5 years, especially with AI too, and with YouTube, Rumble, like we were talking about earlier. And this is just more of you're directly connected to, the five of us talking right here. We have other channels that we're on and watch and listen to. And then you have the chat that we can talk directly and find out like new information. And, we're making a custom show right now. It's really interesting.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I'm always going to love theater, like film, call it cinema, that experience. But man, and the whole thing with theaters only keeping it for like 2 weeks or something. Isn't it like Snow White or the other one, the witch one? Wicked. That's already like on streaming and all this stuff. It's like, what's the point of even? I mean, the point is to have it in theaters like as long as you can, but it's no point when it's $20 a ticket and then in 2 weeks it's going to be on streaming.
Oh yeah, I don't go to movies anymore unless I hear from people I trust that a movie is really good. Then I'll go see it in the theater. I don't mind supporting a theater if a movie is good, but I'm not going to go if it's going to be a shitty experience. Then I just
and plus, my suggestion is to have the theater give you free popcorn bucket. So have an event popcorn bucket, and then it comes with your ticket for fun.
That'll get more people to go. Absolutely.
Or even
it's like then you get the collectible. You can't buy it online. You got to get it with the ticket when you go in.
They were talking about it on FNT or I think another stream. They were talking about theaters need to make it more of an experience. So there are theaters that have like, you have a bar, you can order drinks. It's more of a social thing. That's what they need to start going towards because the old model is not working and it's going to fail them.
Well, I miss movie theaters. Oh, sorry, BF. I was just saying I missed the movie theaters that had the arcades attached to them, or that were sitting right next to the arcades.
yeah.
Those were the best times to go to movies for me.
You could have a movie theater / Dave and Buster's or something like that.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Or even more, if I had my own theater, like I would run Friday Night Tights, live on one of the theaters, or whatever you want.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, and then whoever wants to show up and watch it, that kind of deal, and have the arcade, the bar afterwards.
It kind of sounds like you guys are complaining about the movie theater, but really, I think the problem is the movies.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but
Yeah.
the movie theaters, I think, need to, because of how bad the movies are, they need to find a way to adapt. I think playing old.
Well, they have, and I
yeah,
think the dine-in and the alcoholic movie theaters are the way to go.
I think doing more classic movies as well, because those seem to sell out whenever they play them.
They're doing that. My movie theater at the Roadhouse Cinema, there's only 2 of them here, and then I think in like Colorado or something like that. But every time they do one of those movies, which is like once a week, it completely sells out.
You could do it every single time. So like for your Lord of the Rings, your all this stuff.
Ghostbusters, Jaws,
Ghostbusters,
any of those big movies, Indiana Jones.
The Big Lebowski is coming to theaters.
Anniversary, 30th anniversary, 50th anniversary, all the stuff. Original Star Wars. You could do that and make it a whole event. And if you market it well, like it'd be amazing. And just going back to doing like the cheap action movie, the low budget, whatever, 10, 30, $50 million, just action or horror too. You can do it for the whole month of October. But yeah, I mean, we're all right here in one way or another. They got to make it more of an experience and something you want to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like I want to go see what is it? The new Jason Statham movie, Working Man.
Yep.
I want to go see that. That looks like it's going to be fun and a good movie.
I saw it a couple days ago.
Well,
how was it?
Mm-hmm. So the movie was 2 hours long. There's action, and then there's like 15, 20 minutes action, 15, 20 minutes action. I felt like it was a little bit too long in between action. But when there was action, it was freaking awesome. It was brutal. The fighting was really good. The story was satisfying where they were headed, but I feel like it was too long of a movie with a couple of cheesy moments here and there.
Did you see Beekeeper too?
I did, yeah.
When preview for me, it just felt like it was like a different version of Beekeeper. Is it like that, or is it really a different story?
Kind of. I liked Beekeeper, but I thought they were trying to rip off John Wick a little bit too much by having this secret beekeeper society, So that part kind of took me out of it a little bit, but overall I thought it was a good movie.
Okay, cool.
Either way, Working Man beat Snow White on its first weekend out. With 15
I haven't
million.
seen Snow White, but I would probably rather see Working Man again than to go see
hilarious.
Snow White. So
Snow White is a fucking flop. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we talk about that movie too right now. Like, I don't know who's who is standing by Snow White at this point.
Nobody.
Yeah, the
activists who don't have jobs, so they can't go see the movie because they don't have money. That's who.
They don't have jobs.
I'm not a huge. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I was saying, put it this way: my 5-year-old, who is a die-hard Snow White fan, this kid loves everything Snow White. She's like her mama, but we love our Snow White. She saw the trailer and she goes, "Mom, that's not Snow White, and those are not dwarfs. They're scary little things." Like, she was freaking out over it. So we will not be seeing that movie. It looked horrible.
Clearly, no one's seeing that movie.
What?
Well,
no one's seeing that movie.
Did you explain to her that is Snow White because she survived a snowstorm?
And she's
like
like him.
when she was a child.
She's like him. She's very blunt. She would be like, "You're so stupid." Like, she would. She really would.
She starts kindergarten in September. I'm in trouble. I'm getting a lot of calls.
Unfortunately, this is nothing new. It's just that it used to be called direct to video, and you get something like this. You get like Cinderella with Brandy, starring as Cinderella, and then it would, certain people would like it. Some people would like it, or it'd be enough to watch it on TBS or whatever. But
there's your Rotten Tomatoes score with all audience, not just select audience. So
yeah, click on the verified audience.
Well, I don't have it up. It's just a picture.
If you click on it, it goes to like 70+%. You're like, what is going on
Oh,
here?
yeah,
This
it's
is
a
such
joke.
a disparity.
It's the shills.
Yeah.
And probably half of them didn't even go see the movie. It's just them protecting Disney and protecting what's her face.
Yeah. It's garbage. But yeah, I brought that. That was just a picture, but I brought that up as like, yeah, it looks horrible all across. And the problem is they put verified audience as the first thing you see when you jump onto the page. That's why you don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, because they put that, they do the verified audience, which doesn't make sense. Go to all audience, it's more accurate. So
yeah, they're always changing it.
Rotten Tomatoes admitted to taking money for review. Like, I don't even understand why anyone still trusts them in anything.
Yeah, everyone still talks about it though. You know, they're like, oh, look how bad it is.
But I was gonna say, I don't do horror or big monster movies all that much.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of slightly interested to see that unicorn movie.
Yeah, that doesn't look horrible.
There's another
Ortega. Did you? In it too?
I saw the trailer today and I thought it was really cool. I think I'm gonna go. I want to see that too.
Yeah, she's the horror person in the family. I don't touch it.
At least it feels like they're trying to do something new. They're at least trying something different to some degree, which is missing so much.
I'm probably a bad parent because my 5-year-old watches Jaws and Jurassic Park and Child's Play and all that. She loves all of it.
Wait, she watched Child's Play?
Oh, yeah. She likes Chucky.
Get out.
Get out.
I probably
Sharks and
I don't think
dinosaurs
I let a
eating people
5-year-old
is
watch
one
Child's
thing.
Play.
But see, here's the thing. My daughter has my personality where she's like kind of twisted like me. So listen, my daughter will sit there, watch Jaws and go, eat him, Jaws, eat the guy, eat the guy. When it came to Jurassic Park, when the lawyer got eaten by the T-Rex, she's like, T-Rex, eat the lawyer, eat the lawyer. Like, she was all into it. And we're all just sitting there going,
well, she also knows never trust a lawyer. So.
Well, I mean, I think I can understand Jurassic Park and I could probably get past Jaws, but Child's Play is a little bit different.
no, she don't care.
When I was a little bit older than that, my dad
I'm just going to chalk it up to she didn't pay attention to it.
When I was a little older than that, my dad let me watch the Nightmare on Elm Street, the TV show, not the movies, but there was a TV show when I was a kid.
Yep.
And he gave me one of those little cap gun thingies. You know, you pull the trigger, it goes pang, and then you get a little bit of smoke. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you get scared, you just shoot the bad guy. Oh, and because this TV show, by the time you click the bad guy, like the screen has changed. Like something else is on screen. So that's how I learned to deal with horror movies when I was a kid, was with the cap gun.
I see
that's
it
a good way of doing it.
Manifested into today with your profile picture.
Yeah.
The lore is real. We understand more about the tiny lore.
All right. So since we got some Star Wars fans here, I wanted to bring up another article. It'll probably make some of the Star Wars fans here happy, but this came up this week. Disney removes Star Wars movie from the 2026 slate, and everyone is suspecting it's the Rey movie that's getting removed, replaced by Ice Age. Now, is the movie gone altogether? I don't know, but the fact that they are taking it off the slate is potentially good news. What do y'all think?
Well, we're seeing a lot of like family-friendly movies do really well at the box office, and the Lilo and Stitch movie, they're probably getting numbers from it. Like, wow, people are really excited for this. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that trailer, but people, I liked it a lot. So bringing back Ice Age, they probably just see these like animated films as being safe, whereas like Star Wars, they're actually going to fall on their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot more to lose. You know, these Ice Age, you know what you're going to get with a Jason Statham movie, with a Ice Age movie, Lilo and Stitch. You know, that's going to cover a lot more. But yeah, they got to stop doing these movies. They're trying to be everything for everybody, and it just doesn't work. That they're like, oh, we'll just make it for everybody. You know, it costs $200 million, and then try to get $1 billion. And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and then plus you put the marketing on top of it, it's at least double. Probably at that point, and it's going to fall flat on its face, like like so many movies have done.
I think to some degree they understand that what they're doing isn't selling, but they're refusing to change what they're going to do. So now they're just pivoting to something else because
they're
They
pivoting
could
to
if
something.
they gave us a good Star Wars, they could actually give us a really good Star Wars, like pick a different part of the galaxy's history, pick a different time period, give us a really good movie. They'd make some money, but they refuse to do anything that anyone would actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, it just comes back to what we've been seeing. It's activist directors, activist writers, self-insertion. You name it. People have covered it over the last few years, and it's just the same. It's the same algorithm over, or not algorithm, but same equation over and over and over. And hopefully, they're starting to learn. But if anything, I think it's more just kind of like what was said previously. Just family movies are what's the thing right now, and they're just going to push this back and see what happens, and then try to take it from there. Maybe do some rewriting. But I think ultimately this won't end up coming. The Rey movie won't end up coming out, or whatever this movie is. But I don't think they'll make that call for at least another year or two.
Yeah.
But even
It's
with
just
family
crazy
movies,
because
what was
like
that
some of
movie,
the stuff.
Strange World or something like that? The one with
Yeah.
the gay kid, and then that horrible version of the Buzz Lightyear. Even those which were supposed to be family movies didn't do well because they allowed the activists to run wild.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of everything else, they're not just activists. They're bad writing acting. Like they don't even write good shit. Like if you want to shove something down my throat, at least make it well written.
Well, I agree with you because here's the thing. I grew up loving the movie Willow. I loved Willow. I fell in love with it when I was little. It was my favorite movie. I love Warwick Davis. Great guy. But when the TV show came out, we were all excited about this TV show. We were all excited, like, oh my God, Willow's TV show is coming out. It's a part of the movie. We're so excited. They butchered that so badly. It was the worst thing I ever seen. I was so upset about it. I looked at him, I was like, I'm done with Disney. Yeah. I'm completely done with Disney for what they did.
Yeah, the way I described that was it was the alphabet mafia and emasculation of the only males in the cast show featuring Willow.
Yep.
It was so bad. So bad. Yeah. And again, all of the shit they put in there would still have been awful, but it would have been tolerable to watch if they had at least had good dialogue and good writing.
Yeah.
It was like it's these horrible ideas and it's these horrible destruction of character. Plus, you can't even listen to it because it's so pedantically stupid.
Yeah, it's sad because the money is out there. Like, we're willing to spend money on quality things.
Yeah.
It's just they can't all come up with a good idea. You know, like I said, it's just everything for everybody. We're going back to what we talked about earlier, that Taylor Sheridan's, he's like, I'm just going to do basic storytelling with a extreme situation going on and let the drama kind of happen. And it works. And yeah, just to bring up the 1883, now I think about it again, it's a story of this family that's going out across there. And there's a couple other storylines that are going on with cowboys, and they get hit by everything: tornado, bandits, the cattle dying, every single thing, the people not being prepared. And then you got this like teenage girl who's like 17, 18, while this is going on. And so she's kind of like the storyteller in all this.
And she's kind of an optimist as well.
Yeah, and she was. And it was cool to kind of see her, development over it. But every scene that she was in, like, I didn't want any of that. Like, I wanted to see the cowboy stuff.
Here's the thing.
It made sense that, what she had going on.
I can talk to her. So, yeah, in 1883, a lot of people complain that the daughter was kind of the, Mary Sue, but she's not. Because if you watch the show, things do not end well for her. And I don't want to spoil it, but she's the eternal optimist in a shitty situation, and it doesn't work out for her. And that's why I say she's not a Mary Sue, because it doesn't end well for her.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say just because it doesn't end well for her, but also like those days where they were traveling west and the frontier days. I mean, women had to be just as rough and gruff and adaptable as men had to survive, and that's what she did. So it's not even that she's Mary Sue. She did what pretty much a lot of women during that actual time period did.
And she ended badly. That's what happened to a lot of women. I mean, there's a reason that the Old West in many places had a ratio of 8-1, sometimes even worse than that, of men to women in those towns. The frontier towns,
Yeah,
Well,
especially
because-
these shows.
Yeah,
at
because the
least,
men.
don't-
like there's a chance for graping, like in every situation. I'm
Well,
like,
that's
did this just happen? Like
Well,
every hour?
in
back then?
the lawless areas. It was the men getting out there to establish settlements,
Yep.
to establish order before the women started funneling out there. That's just how it was. Is because the women didn't in
where
mass
the mail order
numbers
bride idea came
travel.
from.
Yeah,
Guys would literally put ads in Eastern papers looking for wife willing to deal with such and such and such, and they would send money, and the woman would come out because they were not enough women. They couldn't make they died on the way out there. So many of them, and there was so little legit. I mean, not like there was a huge amount of healthcare on the East at that time, but any sense of healthcare didn't exist out in the West. But I mean, I'm sorry. Go to a third world country today,
too.
and you'll see great everywhere. You'll see the same stuff.
yeah. Kids didn't do well in the old West as well. So
Yeah, you have 8-10 kids, and maybe 4 of them
Well, yeah,
survive.
you think
do
you're going to
really
be,
well.
you're gonna be walking.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to us, it's crazy, but it really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, the thing is, you're going to go through like a bunch of stuff. The kids are going to be like,
go ahead.
Drew?
Yeah, the kids, they're going through rattlesnakes, they're crossing states, like their feet are going to get crazy, infected and all this stuff. All things that, like, if you're an adult, 20, 30, 40 years old, you've been through that kind of stuff, but now you're doing it in a new kind of way. So yeah, it was just insane. That's why it's cool. It's a challenge, because it's like we don't have any like new frontiers anymore other than, space, and that's all sci-fi. But like, we've talked about with Star Wars, Star Trek, it's good storytelling or good characters and stuff like that in, something that we're not seeing in our everyday, as opposed to, the Westerns, where we have a better idea of what happened, 150, 200 years ago, but we don't know exacts. Nowadays, like, we have everything figured out with computers, phones, AI. It's just like, remember there was a time where you didn't have an answer to something, and now we have an answer to everything. And we argue about it. It's crazy.
You're like sitting around a campfire and everyone's like, well, maybe this. No, I don't think that's right because that. If you're like, everyone's like talking stuff out. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, there was no fact checking back then.
and
If somebody just
learn.
told you, a building fall down, it's wild. You just have to believe what some stranger told you that he was rolling in the town, or a newspaper that could have been completely inaccurate, or one-sided. But you have to believe it. Like, what else are you gonna believe? But yes, speaking of Westerns, let's jump into the Rust stuff. If you got that up, Alf, we can
I got the
dive
video.
into that.
All right.
But yeah, ABF, what do you know from start to finish with this stuff? It's been going. You and I have been talking about it for a couple of years with Rust, with Alec Baldwin, and all things. What's your take from?
Well, I followed the incident and the court case and all that, pretty closely, obviously. Right. But
give me a second.
Finding this. The trailer finally dropped for Rust, and I watched it, and I wanted to hate it, but like, it actually kind of looks like a decent Western. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No, you're not. I saw it too. I mean, and it's I don't know if I would jump out of my seat to say shut up and take my money, but I mean, if ticket prices were a little cheaper, I'd probably go see it and give it a try.
I'm pretty sure I'm obligated to see it since I've been using Alec's name for quite a while now, so I think I owe him at this point. But
right, give me a sec. Still bringing it up.
$20.
I was actually saying. So, did you guys see the Kevin Costner movie Horizon? Was it just Horizon?
Did not.
So after that movie bombed, everyone kept saying we're not going to get Westerns anymore. Then turns out we actually are going to get one more, and it's going to be Rust. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Westerns, they just don't do very well with everyone's TikTok brain, is what I call it, going on now. People just don't have the attention span to appreciate a slow burn Western. because that's exactly what they are. They're always really slow. You know, there's some gunfights every once in a while, but it's usually people traveling around. You know, cell phones aren't around in the movies, so it's usually a lot of just you know, talking, sitting around, riding horses. But
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. I really like westerns, and I think it's an entire genre that has died out. Personally,
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
more of them.
It won't let me go max screen, but
that's okay.
all right. Let me know if the audio works because they changed everything with StreamYards, and I can't select the box to enable audio. So I don't know if this is going to play audio, but we'll see. You guys hear it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Damn it!
Try sharing
right.
tab instead of window.
Okay. Well, it doesn't do that. Like they totally changed. All right, let me stop screen. They totally changed the way they do it.
Hmm.
All right, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been struggling with figuring out because all my streams I was using through OBS, and then when I started the one show where like I actually have people coming on now, I've had to figure out StreamYard and like how that works with sharing the audio and the tabs and stuff. It drives me crazy.
Vagabundo asked in chat, what did you think of Gina Carano's Western? I actually didn't think that was a very good movie. I have to be honest. That was the one that was on the Daily Wire's website. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I heard about it, but
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
it
if you
because
can
I
hear
was
me okay.
excited. I was like,
Fair on the
man,
prairie.
we're gonna get third-party movies now. This is kind of neat.
All right, we're gonna try this again.
Well,
See if it works.
behind the scenes, it was supposed to be a completely different movie,
You guys hear
and
this?
they couldn't get through the COVID.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I fucking hate when they change StreamYards. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
you can hear me. They couldn't get through the COVID restrictions,
Go ahead.
so they had to do it outside. So they chose a Western instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The dialogue was very I don't know, cringe. Like nothing really matched up when they were talking. It was very obvious acting. It wasn't good acting.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were doing just whatever they could to push it out and to get something out there from what all they worked on. So
Yeah,
you're gonna have
that
duds
makes
here and
sense.
there, but
Especially
I like the
once,
attempt.
yeah, especially once all those restrictions, everything during that time comes into play. You definitely, I can understand that. At that point, they're so invested, and they probably were held back long enough as it was. They just wanted to get it done and put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried making a movie, but
Yep, I just treat it like an indie movie. I've seen indie movies that aren't great.
Yeah, I mean it came off as like a B movie, and I think, you know, maybe it's a stepping stone, but
Yeah, it was definitely one of the first things they'd done. They were trying to see if they could do real like full movies and stuff, and
yeah.
I think it proved that they had a lot of way to go.
But at the same time, you know, they're the Daily Wire. They're trying to build a reputation, and if your first movie isn't a very good one right out of the gate, you kind of screwed up. So I think that they should have had a better director, a better filmographer. Like something didn't, you know,
I believe they actually tried to do some of that, and no one wanted to work with them.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in that situation.
Well, I mean, if their talent pool they were going to was Hollywood, and they're the Daily Wire. I mean, I'm not surprised they couldn't get a lot of people to go work with them. So.
Yeah, I can't get this to work. I'm
Growing
gonna have to
pains,
figure
just
it
like
out.
we talk about Rumble. You know,
Do you want?
they're gonna
Do
have.
you want me to share my screen?
Just see if you can share it. It's doing the same shit. Like it updated my StreamYards to the point where it doesn't allow anything. It's so stupid.
Let me get it pulled up here real quick.
Yeah, I don't know what's.
Yeah, it might be a StreamYards thing. And
StreamYards is really weird lately. So like you could pick tab and enable audio. It doesn't allow you to do that anymore.
Huh.
Entertainment Tonight, is that the one you're trying to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's silly. I hate when they make changes because it fucks everyone else up.
All right, I'm sharing.
All right.
I just have it at half audio.
Let's hope it works. There we go.
I hear it.
The only order that exists in this world is the order we impose. If a man loses sight of that, he's got nothing.
God bless the wicked. They continue to pay my bills. Some things in this life you can't get back, I reckon. Heaven ain't waiting on neither one of us.
Okay. Alec Baldwin's voice does not match a Western. I'm sorry. He sounds like a New Yorker, but not the good New York accent.
I kind of think that he doesn't talk a whole lot in the movie, and I mean, I just thought of it just now, rewatching it for like the 4th or 5th time, that it does actually seem like those are two action sequences over and over that they're pulling clips from, and I'm wondering if they're showing all the action in one trailer. You know, like movies usually do, where you see all the fun stuff
Probably
in the trailer. Yeah. But I mean,
I mean, it looks decent, but I can't get over him, you know. And there's so many better westerns out there I'd rather watch. You know, Clint Eastwood. Even the what was the one that came out a few years ago? The Magnificent Seven or something like that.
Yeah, and then
it was a remake.
also...
It was a
the
remake,
original.
but it was really good. I liked it.
I thought it was a good Western. I didn't think it was a great remake of Magnificent Seven.
That's one I was trying to remember just now, Drew. The Tarantino one was pretty good.
Oh, Hateful Eight was great.
Hateful Eight, yeah.
I like that kind of stuff, where
Mhm.
it's just like, it's a mystery, it's practical effects, good writing. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. You get good actors. Like, I like period pieces like that. They could be doing action scenes or talking or whatever, but yeah, the practical effects, yeah, that's what I'm into right now. And I think that's what Hollywood needs. Less of the green screen, less of the just actors that are just doing it for the resume building, or because they, like Rachel Zegler, got plucked out of, you know, YouTube for singing, and now she's like all these big IP, you know, the #1 contender for all these things. Doesn't work that way. But yeah, I'm up for more Westerns and even more space things. If they can do like very contained like stuff in space, I'm all for that.
Well, here's one thing that I would have loved to see done right. So I don't know whether Chad or you guys on the panel. I love anime. Anime is a lot of fun. Always have. Read manga as well. But the Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation they did a few years ago, that I had such high hopes for, because for those of you who don't know, Cowboy Bebop is basically a space western.
Yep.
And
exactly what it is.
The anime is great, and something like that would have killed if they did it right. But the execution was just so awful. So I had high hopes for that, but like seeing some space western stuff would be cool.
Like Firefly.
Oh, I love Firefly.
Western.
Holy shit. That'd be a good idea. So good.
I've said it before, like, if you want to make Star Trek, Star Wars better, just give a small budget to some quality people, either up and coming or people like Tarantino. And it's just like, just have stormtroopers like hanging out at a bar talking for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's it. You know, just like with Mandalorian, like Mrs. Comics, like you're talking about, you couldn't even get into it. Like I watched it because I was bored. And it's like, okay, this is decent. It's just, it's like a Western. It's a space Western, you know, that he's going around being a bounty hunter. Like, this is what I wanted from Boba Fett. And I'm like, okay, now we got this other guy. And then it just devolved into the cameos, the jingling keys, the connections to the sequels, and everything from that. But it's just like, come on, people, just take some money, go back down to basics, and make something quality.
Well, I think that's the problem too, is take some money, take some, not a lot, just a little bit.
Yeah, well, like a Godzilla -1, you know, that type of $15 million. You can do a lot with $15 million.
And they crushed it.
I was going to say Rebel Moon was supposed to that's supposed to be a Western sci-fi, isn't it?
Really?
I don't talk about that movie.
Oh,
Dude,
fuck.
that was
awful.
That's like a case of what not to do.
And why would you go into it right off the bat, knowing that you're going to make two different versions of the movie? You're going to confuse the fuck out of people.
That's just that's his classic Zack Snyder. Like, oh, you didn't like that? Well, I actually had the real thing in my pocket this whole time, but you can't see it because
I was just going to say,
believe me.
Welcome to Zack Snyder 101 is what I was going to say.
Yeah, who paid for that? Like, how much did that cost, and who paid for it?
Netflix paid for it.
It was in Netflix?
Yeah, and I think it was like hundreds of millions, wasn't it?
Yep, yeah.
It was
$500 million.
Taking that money and like making the real version of the Justice League, whatever, you know, the Snyder cut, making a full thing and just putting it out there. And it could have been good or bad, but just like instead, you just get this crazy fake Star Wars thing that nobody liked.
It was awful. They even like ripped off Star Wars with some of the they had like the saber swords or whatever they were.
They were plasma though, not light.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And that's what I'm saying. All this stuff isn't new. It just used to be direct to video, direct to VHS, direct to DVD. You know, Nicolas Cage was like known for that back then. And then and it's fine. They lived where they lived, but now it has to be everywhere.
Except, Drew, the thing that you want with these small things, they take unbelievably good writers. Very decent, at the very least, very, very decent directors, but unbelievably good writers. And we don't seem to have any even decent writers left.
Nope.
Yeah, well, because they're all getting killed out by a committee. So it's like it's one right. Even if you're a good writer or you have 3 of them, there might be 20 people in that writer's room, and they have to go off what the whiteboard says with the like for Star Wars with dinosaurs on there twice, and all this stuff. And that's based on what like the executives saying, which like the market research. And what's that based on? Like, you know, fake surveys and stuff, you know, just like political polls. Like, it's just not creativity anymore. It's just,
there's no creativity left.
Yeah. And one of the things I keep saying about movies too, is that they're not allowed to improv on set anymore, because that's writing your own stuff on the fly, which you can't do.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a lot of the good stuff. You know, Deadpool was a lot of that. That was the last one that had a lot of ad lib type things.
I've been rewatching Stargate SG-1, and Richard Dean Anderson encouraged people to do improv on this set all the time, and you can see it in the final product. It's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, and it didn't always go well, but I'm sure the good directors can pull something from that, you know, or get an act. Maybe they don't know what they're going to get an actor to do, but they have some kind of vision, and it could go in a couple different ways. And they're like, all right, you know, do this, or here's your situation. And then they, you know, shock them. And then you get a performance that nobody was expecting that's going to resonate. And you just really have to do that because, we just had better stuff back then. Because I remember even I heard, was it Ridley Scott talking about Alien, where they're eating around the table or whatever, and then you have the person and it jumps out of the stomach, and it was animatronic and everything like that, and he deliberately didn't tell the actors that it was going to happen. So it was all a real, genuine response to this. Really? You could not do that today. Like
he almost got sued because
another example of that is the Goonies. When everybody saw that pirate ship in the cave for the first time, that was their actual reaction, because they didn't let anybody see it until that one moment. They caught it on camera.
Nice.
So
And those are the differences between a good director and a average or just straight up bad director. They get creative with how to get the most out of their actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Maybe we don't have that anymore.
Goonies, and they're saying that they're gonna get rid of Sloth, and I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, Sloth was the best character in the freaking movie, But nowadays you can't get away with this stuff anymore. That's what sucks about it. When we were kids, we loved Sloth. Hell, I still yell at you guys down the hallway sometimes. I don't care. Like, that's what it was about.
Well, you yelled at me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
I'm your Sloth.
I honestly think the girl that plays in the Last of Us TV series needs to play Sloth's daughter.
Ooh. That's a good casting choice right there.
She's got the look.
Yeah.
Part of the other thing is, even when you have good directors, when I was growing up watching Hollywood and behind the scenes and everything, and when I did theater for years, you expect a good director, to be a little bit insane. Good directors, they have something in their head that they're trying to bring out in real life, and it's very hard to do. So they're always losing their shit. They yell, they scream,
Are
they
they
throw
allowed
things.
to do that now? Are they going to
No,
get sued for
they're
sexual
not allowed to do that
harassment?
anymore.
Yeah, or
Like
whatever.
Joss Whedon, James Marsters said at one point he'd wanted to kill off Spike. Spike was not supposed to continue, but the fans liked Spike so much, and the studio liked Spike so much, that he kept being told he was not allowed to kill him off. And he got really angry he got told, like, for the 40th time, no, you can't, like, his scripts kept getting thrown out. And so he walked through the set, and James Marsters was standing next to a wall, and he slammed his fist on the wall next to James Marsters' head and said, "I can kill you anytime I want," and walked away. And James was like, I didn't take it personally. I understood what was going on. He's a very artistic person who was very frustrated in the situation.
Yeah, and everybody has their moments too. Like it's meant to be a project, but
you're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to have any outbursts anymore. Only actresses are allowed to have outbursts anymore.
They need to do that in a safe space, Tiny.
Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't make sense if you're just constantly walking on eggshells. It's not going to be a good product, and the director is not always going to have the best ideas like that. The audience likes Spike, and everybody else. So you figure out how to play that tug of war with, like, keeping him around, but because he's a good actor, and those scenes were just amazing.
Yeah.
With anybody who was in, he could be a badass, he could be a comic relief, and then it just always worked. Yeah, I liked him better than Angel through most of Buffy.
Yeah. And I don't like that so many directors now have to pass these freaking, like, purity tests. Like, I'm sorry, some of the greatest directors in all of Hollywood's history were sleeping around with everyone and their brother. Like, I mean, that's not something that, like, people should be like, oh my god, he cheated on his wife. That doesn't mean, so I don't want to be his friend. That doesn't mean I don't want to watch his fucking movies. Like, it just drives me nuts that we have no creativity, and those who have creativity are constantly stifled by ridiculous social bullshit.
Well, because those who dare to have an original thought or a creative idea are looked at as weird. So that pretty much, I like you said, the only ones that are allowed to have voices are the entitled actresses, which is kind of why I quoted that, because what happened with her and that whole movie is kind of indicative of what's been going on for years now.
Yeah.
Just in regards to creativity, or even if it's something like based on a book, like, you want to stay true to the source material, but you want to change it up enough that it's kind of original or a different take that requires creativity, not just in entitled actors and actresses and writers guilds and unions and executives and all that coming in and stifling the creativity.
So I'd like to add, so since we were talking about lack of creativity, it's a good transition. I want to bring this up. Did any of y'all watch this? I'm just going to let it play.
I watched Gary's.
Yeah, I watched Gary watching it.
Yeah.
So
what did y'all think? Like 2x speed.
So okay, I'll ask two questions. What did you think of how they did it?
Tell people what we're looking at.
These are all the actors. Well, not all, because there's some that are not listed here. There's some of the actors that are going to be in the new Avengers Doomsday movie. So, for those who watched the actual release of this information, what did you think of that? And also, what did you think of the actual actors that are included here?
Well, yeah, it was actors that we've seen before. So we've either seen them
Right.
in the MCU in the well, basically they're calling it the Infinity Saga now. So it's not even by phases anymore. They're calling it Infinity Saga and
Yeah.
Multiverse Saga. And
Yeah.
this is supposed to wrap up the Multiverse Saga. But then we're also getting X-Men characters. So we see Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, all
Mhm.
these guys. So we're getting the Fox ones in now here too. Some of them we've seen, like in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Mom, so which is kind of sucks. And there's Channing Tatum with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. I hate this idea. It's cheap. They got Robert Downey Jr. here, and does he even say anything, or is it all just
No.
Nope.
Yeah,
It costs
not
twice as much
work.
to have him speak.
Yeah, I heard they edited it like a lot. They could have had other chairs. I think they're in the middle of signing contracts or getting people on board.
Well,
Personally, I'm not excited about this. Like it's just
No, I'm not.
how are you going to put it into 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is, without just it being like the Flash, where it was Nicolas Cage and stuff like this with just green screens and stuff. I'm not excited. Like it wrapped up really well at Endgame, and all this has just been kind of a fever dream nightmare.
Yeah, they should have rebooted it after Endgame, honestly.
Or just took a break. Took a 5-year
take a
and
break.
worked on it. Worked on
Break
X-Men.
would've been the best
worked
move.
on Fantastic Four, and you should have came out the gate with X-Men and Fantastic Four. However you wanted to do it.
I like the fact they're bringing Marsden back as Cyclops. I think he got his role as Cyclops in the original X-Men movies was criminal, because Cyclops was supposed to be a very strong character. He's the leader of the X-Men. He's very strategic and tactical the way he runs the teams. He should not have been treated the way he was in the movies. They sidelined him for Wolverine, which annoyed me because Cyclops was one of my favorite characters in the X-Men. But I mean, maybe it'll be better in this one. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hopes for this. So,
comics. What are your favorite MCU movies?
So my favorite MCU movies were definitely earlier on. I mean, just a quick reaction to this. I really enjoyed Endgame. I loved Endgame. A lot of people did, but I felt even Endgame had too many actors. So the fact that there's all these names that I'm seeing for something I'm not excited about is going to be an absolute nightmare to keep up with. And that's probably not even everybody that's going to be in the movie. But my favorite MCU movies would probably be Winter Soldier. Captain America Winter Soldier was a great film. Really, really great introduction to Bucky Barnes and the Winter Soldier and that whole thing, which Bucky should have been the next Cap, not Anthony Mackie, but that's we're a month past that already. I covered that in a read-along video on my channel, but
yeah, we did a talk on that with Captain African American. Yeah, it's strange. So it's like, what exactly do we want this to be, this Doomsday? Because I know a little bit of the lore when it comes to God Emperor Doom, the Beyonder. I mean, this is where you could have brought Madam Web and had Madam Web,
Well,
She makes sense.
Yeah, instead of the crappy movie.
Also, Gary from Nerderotic pointed out, because of his contact that he has within Marvel, that Wolverine and Deadpool are going to show up as well. And there's even rumors that Chris Evans is going to show up, and the only reason why they didn't show him in this list of chairs is because the new Captain Marvel movie is currently still out, and they thought that would look bad. If they're bringing it back, the old Captain America.
So Anthony Mackie's chair was listed. So is he going to be Falcon?
No, he's going to be Captain America.
No, he's Captain America. So
Falcon,
I don't.
Who's Danny Ramirez? I think his name was the dude that played Falcon, or the new Falcon.
So I don't know in what terms Chris Evans is coming back. I don't know.
Well, there's going to be multiple versions of all of the characters. There's going to be multiple Iron Man, multiple Captain Americas, multiple everything, because this is closing down the multiverse saga. They have to first show you all of the different versions of the multiverse, so then they can compress it back down into just one.
Yeah, the multiverse nonsense just needs to end. Even in the comics, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, the only the only two universes in the comics that exist in my mind are the Prime universe of Marvel Comics and the Ultimate universe, the Ultimates universe. The original Ultimates universe was awesome. Then it all got blown up, and then Miles Morales and the Maker ended up getting fused into the Prime universe. And then now the
616.
revival of the Ultimate Universe at Marvel. I mean, it's okay. Ultimate Spider-Man is the best title at Marvel Comics right now, but even then, it's not a perfect book. But so like those are really, if they really wanted to do a whole alternate universe type of thing, I really feel from the beginning they should have just went down the route of the Ultimate Universe instead of all this Kang the Conqueror and all that stuff.
They've just been dragging the multiverse for way too long. It came right after Endgame because Loki went from whatever 2012 into a multiverse, and so it's just like it's been just forever. It's felt like it's been 5 years of this stuff. Be like, okay, they keep adding new characters, Young Avengers, Women Avengers, Kang, not Kang, all this stuff, and it's just there's the whole like collisions or whatever they call it, whatever the multiverse of madness was. So it's like, okay, we got another MacGuffin. Yeah, incursions. But then they all said the Loki stuff. Be like, okay, you gotta be worried about all this stuff.
Holy shit. Dude, really? Alec Baldwin, get me 20 Horny Alf memberships. You're awesome. There's a lot of people that got memberships here. Awesome. Thank you, man.
I got a membership. Cool.
It is appreciated.
You're welcome.
There we go. We gotta come back next week.
I got bored because I don't give a fuck about Marvel anymore.
It's tough. I know.
Oh, you're good.
Well, that's how I am. Now I want to know. I'm like, just wrap it up. Just because they got to go Doomsday, and then they go to the last one as well. So it's just like it's just a waste. And then what's going to happen after that? They're not going to keep these characters in, and bringing the new ones doesn't work.
They really need to just take a break, like you guys were saying, but they won't because they need to keep the money flowing in for the investors. But the investors they don't even realize that they're sealing their own fate by making things worse.
All right. So before I transition to my next thing, I wanted to ask. So, phases 1, 2, and 3. Agree with me or disagree with me. They had a solid kind of connecting tissue between each movie to the next. It was a solid story that arced until Endgame, and it was done. Phases 4, 5, and 6. Well, 6 hasn't started yet, but 4 and 5. Do you feel like there's been any connection between each of the movies at all?
No.
Well, they tried to make the connection to the TV shows.
Yeah,
that was their plan. Was the TV shows
no one watched
all the movies?
No one watched the TV shows, so
exactly.
Because they suck.
So I'll just leave it at that. It's like they didn't plan it out. At least with the first 2 phases, they planned it out in very much detail. Phase 3 kind of started to get the feeling of it being a little sloppy, but it was still connected, so it worked. But anything after phase 3 just was awful. There's only 3 movies.
I would say phase 1 sort of does it, but I mean, only if you're starting at Iron Man.
Yeah.
If you're starting at the Hulk movies, then no.
Well, Iron Man's the first movie anyway, so that's where you should start.
Yeah.
But
they just need to wipe out all of the characters and just start anew. But it sounds like they're going to pick some that they're going to carry over and some are going to be eliminated.
Yeah. I think what they're going to do after this, after Doomsday and after what's the follow-on called? There's 2 Avengers movies.
Oh, I can't remember what they calling it. Secret Wars. Yeah.
Secret Wars. I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to do a soft reboot after those. It's going to be kind of like a multiverse, like unraveling and unraveling kind of thing. And they're going
to take all of the multiverse and they're going to just
mix it up.
Mix it up. But in the end, you're going to have just the 616.
Well, I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to reboot. They're going to restart everything, and that's what they're going to do because they need to hire all new actors to play these characters because all of them are getting old, so they need to start over.
And I think Secret Wars is going to be that kind of make it or break it point, not just for. I mean that'd be a good point to start rebooting, but also I think that's going to be the point where the Marvel Studios will finally say, okay, do we need to take a solid just prolonged period of time away from making movies, or are we completely rebooting with Secret Wars, and are people going to get back on board?
Yeah. Well,
Either way, the
speaking
money
of-
is running out. The
Yeah.
money well is the venture capital, the USAIDs, whatever it is, a lot of the fake money that's going to be going away.
Well,
So.
speaking of Marvel, I wanted to bring this up because I saw this. I played the Ninja Turtle version of this game, but there's a new game that's
What's up, Boosh?
that I want to introduce. I don't have any sound because I can't figure out the fucking sound with the new update to StreamYards. But let's go ahead and play this. So you can just see it. This is a new game. They did a Ninja Turtles version of this game back 3 years ago. I played just yesterday on stream. But it's a beat 'em up, side scroller beat 'em up with Marvel.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Yeah.
I just streamed that actually Shredder's Revenge about a month ago. It was a lot of fun. And this is probably like the one redeeming thing that has the Marvel name on it right now that I'm excited about.
They're saying it's going to have 15 characters, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for this. I'm definitely going to stream this. And I know the Ninja Turtles game was up to 6 players at once, so I assume this one's going to be at least that.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to
play
play
it
this.
with you, Horny Alf.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they should be doing. They should be shelving the big stuff and then just focusing on smaller things like this, especially that like our generations, like we for one, we have the appreciation for this kind of stuff that we grew up on, make some slight changes or whatever. And then we're the generation with like the most money right now to spend. So it's like, make decent stuff for us, not for Gen Z. We can ease them into it, just like you said with your kids' comics.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we like something that's quality. Now we're going to show our kids this. Come check it out, and then it passes the torch.
Yeah, they need to do stuff like this. They need to go back into focus on animation, I think, because like the 90s Marvel animation was peak for the time. And they need to go back and really just rework the staff at Marvel Comics from top to bottom, especially their editors. They got to go back to basics and just leave the TV, the movies, the live action stuff alone for a while and just get it all right from the ground level back up.
And the great thing is, you look at this scene right here, you got 7 of the characters. So that's 7 out of 15. There's a bunch more characters they're going to have in this game. I hope they have Cyclops. That's one of my favorite X-Men. Plus, I love Captain America. But there's got to be. They got to bring in Thor. They got to bring in Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So
Atrocitus is the villain for this game?
I guess so. It's a cosmic invasion. So whatever they have set up there.
I thought Annihilation at first. Is that what I'm thinking of? I could be wrong.
I don't know, but this looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to play it.
Annihilus.
Let me look up. Keep talking. I'll look up.
I think good. Super Nintendo, Sega. I played Spider-Man, Maximum Carnage. I get this feel from that, and then the arcade game, obviously, the Ninja Turtles back in the day. But picking these different characters, like that's a good collaboration.
Yeah, and if you do up to 6 players, that's great because you can have a whole party of people hanging out to play this game.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah, I just said, just the other day we played Ninja Turtles and we played it for like 2.5, 3 hours. It was great.
Hey, I wish you knew you were doing that, man. I would have hopped in and played with you.
Yeah,
I my boy Donnie out. Let's go.
Anytime, man. But yeah, I can't wait for that game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah,
I mean,
I'd be curious. Go ahead.
Go ahead and then I'll go.
I was gonna say, I was just curious what games everyone here's playing. I know Tiny doesn't play games, but
sorry,
is anyone here playing any games lately? I think we talked about it at the beginning, but just want to bring it up again.
Fallen Order still, just very slowly.
Fallen Order, okay.
Yep.
I've been playing Schedule 1, as I said in my intro, but also Repo, which I actually 3D printed one of the little guys from it.
Oh, I saw
That game is fun.
I dropped in and watched a little bit of Saturday Chatterday last night, and they were playing it.
Mhm.
It looks funny because they have the like in South Park, the Canadians, the way they speak, they have like the Canadian heads,
Exactly.
the way they talk,
Little flappy heads.
Yeah,
I'm not about it, yeah.
that's how their faces do it. I gotta get into
Once
that
I
game.
get-
That game looks fun.
Yeah.
Once I actually get a PC built, then I will start being able to enjoy games like that. But for now, I'm solely console.
Isaac from our Discord server, he has like the shittiest laptop you can think of with no video card in it, and he can still run repo. So maybe you
Okay.
have hope.
Yes, you hear that
Yeah,
potato? Let's go.
Yeah, repo is a very low. It doesn't require a lot from your computer, so you could probably run it on a potato computer.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the potato to the test.
And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, you could
Sour
return
cream,
it on
all
Steam
good
in a couple hours. So
But yeah, Comics Dad and Mrs. While we got here, like what in these genres and different IPs or whatever, what are you excited for 2025? Is there anything you're looking forward to? Release, game, movie, show?
For 2025, anything that's not currently out, like in terms of sequels or continuing issues or books or whatever, the thing I'm most excited for currently is honestly the live action Lilo and Stitch. Because personally, Stitch is, like I said at the beginning, one of my top 3 favorite Disney characters. And I did a read log last week of the Lilo and Stitch comic book by Dynamite Entertainment. And even in my post, I said, I am not a Disney adult. I am not a Disney shill. Stitch was just awesome when I was a kid. So I'm excited about that. It looks like they're doing what they should have been doing with all these other live action movies. They're going back and just copy paste with maybe a few tweaks and edits here and there, just to, whether it's cost effective or just kind of make it a little more modern, and not for the modern audience, but just so it's not dated. But that's what I'm most excited for in terms of movies. Games, I don't think there's really anything. I haven't really had my finger on the pulse of video games. I've been kind of going through my backlog and stuff that I played years ago. Like the next thing I'm going to be doing on my channel after I finish the Like a Dragon game I'm streaming is I'm probably going to go back and play the Mass Effect trilogy because I love that trilogy.
Nice,
So
that's great.
game-wise, I'm not really looking forward to anything. If something pops up, yeah, I'll probably pick it up.
Does anybody want to skateboard?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I have a limited edition N7 Mass Effect skateboard behind
It's
me.
been sitting in my house for 6 years.
I've had
Anybody
it
want
longer than I've
skateboard
been
can
with her.
have it. I'll pay for shipping at this point.
I have a plan for it. But and then other than that, I'm just looking forward to more Rippaverse goodness, more Skybound Transformers goodness, and then just a lot more good stuff out of Image Comics with their superhero franchise they got going. And then just the indie scene. If you want to find good, fun, quality comic books, that it might be a little more than going to your local comic shop and picking up the new thing by the bigger publishers, but you're supporting a small creator, and there's a lot of good stuff out there that are on crowdfunding sites like Fund My Comic, Indiegogo, things like that. So
Yeah,
that's
speaking of
more kind of what
Rippaverse-
I've got my finger on the pulse of.
Yeah. Speaking of that, have you guys been out to any meetups or anything? The 4 of us know each other from this one or that one meetup. Have you thought about doing that or ever done it?
We'd like to. I was actually gonna go to the Orlando one, but then Mrs. Comics had surgery at the beginning of the year. And as a lot of people in the 199 community know, because like I did some super chats asking for thoughts and prayers and all that stuff. But so unfortunately I couldn't do that. We're talking about possibly going down to Dallas if they do one in Dallas at the end of May, but most likely not. It's probably
if
going to
you
have
can
to
make
be.
They're quite the experience. Yeah, whether
Yeah,
you go to the
they really
con
are.
or just the event.
It's probably going to have to be MegaCon next year, probably.
Yeah, that's the big one. If you want, bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity just to talk to people in the community. They put a face to a name. You know, it's really good opportunity to get yourself seen and understood. You know, and heard.
I'm getting looks. I said we, not me.
What about you, Mrs.? What are you looking forward to this year?
So listen,
I need some ideas. I need some suggestions.
So here's the thing. I'm so glad, he's ready for Marvel and all that stuff to come out, whatever. Me personally, I give up on Disney and Marvel. I get completely up on it. I don't care about the movies coming out. My thing is horror. So you guys probably not going to care, but I'm excited for the new Conjuring movie to come out. The last one that came out, which was their third one, which was The Devil Made Me Do It, was horrible. I was very upset with it. The first two were great. Loved them. So this last one, they're saying there's hope for it. So I'm praying to God there's going to be hope for it, because if there's not, I am done with all of it. I'm like, forget it. I'll stick with the older stuff and just stream everything. But as far as books go, so I'm a Jersey girl, as you guys know. I'm from North Jersey. I grew up loving my state, loving everything about my state. And my thing is, where I'm from, we are known for the Jersey Devil. Well, Dark Horse Comics came out with a comic last month called Let This One Be the Devil. This is a book I picked up last month. It's the story of Mother Leeds and the devil and how he became the devil and all that stuff. Really great book. I'm so excited for this. There's going to be about 15 issues, they're saying. I'm stoked because I represent this. Okay, this is me. This is where I'm from. This is my thing. Here's the deal, though. I won't go to the Pine Barrens. Ain't gonna happen. You won't catch me there. But I love the story. I believe in the Jersey Devil. People think I'm crazy for that, but I do. I fully believe in it. But this is a really good story. It's actually, people don't know about it. Read about this. It brings out, what we as Jersey are known for. The monster of Jersey. So
you could be associated with if you want, not me. I'm good.
The Joyzy?
Yeah,
Jersey. Yeah, he's a central Jersey boy, but he doesn't represent Jersey. He don't care about it. I love home. Okay.
I represent sanity and common sense. Thank you.
I love home. Listen, I'm a true Jersey girl. I love Pennsylvania where we live, but I will always be a Jersey girl. That's never going to change. I'm not a Jersey Shore girl, because those girls are bullshit.
Oh, they're hoes. They're hoes.
John's starting again.
But no, seriously, we're not that way. Just to let everybody know, Jersey Shore's bullshit. We're not that way. I am a true Jersey girl.
They are New Yorkers that came down to Point Pleasant or Seaside.
They're Long Islanders, really.
Yeah.
People from that stuff.
They're Long Islanders, Staten Islanders, and yeah. And that's what a lot of North Jersey kind of turned into, was people filtering over from there because it was cheaper to live in northern New Jersey than in Manhattan and the 5 boroughs. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, no, that's a good wrap up. That's we had some awesome conversations. I'm glad you jumped on. Tell us what you're up to this week. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you reading? And where can we find you guys?
Go ahead. So this week, first I got to go and finish season 3 of Reacher as soon as we're done. I got to do that. But other than that, we've been watching the anime Solo Leveling.
Yes,
I read the manhwa, however you say it. I read that originally when it was first as like a webtoon and roughly translated to English. So it was a lot of fun, and I love what they're doing with the anime. Other than that, there's not really too much in terms of TV or movies or anything like that. More just kind of the comic books that coming out this week. I think we have not this week, but next week there's a new issue of Transformers coming out, I think. So I'm excited for that.
Our show next week.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. And then tomorrow gonna be doing a gaming stream, and then other than that, just my normal stuff. Editing and putting together my read-along videos. I actually recorded one today. I got to edit it when we're done here tonight while I'm watching Reacher. And then Thursday we have our next episode of Comics Couple Cafe, which it's me and Mrs. Comics. We hang out. We talk with the chat about pretty much whatever. Cool. We had an impromptu episode of it last night or the night before. That was really more so I could just test out Rumble Studio.
And he screwed up, too. He really screwed up.
And I screwed up. I streamed on our anniversary on Thursday. I had an episode of my other live show on Thursday on our anniversary. So I had to stream with her on Friday to make it up.
There you go. There's some makeups. That happens. But yeah, feel free to throw in your links into the chat. If mods want to do that, they can.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. That's awesome. ABF, Hey, tell us a little about, you guys had a 1 year anniversary GCA, right?
Yeah, and
How'd that go?
that went really well. We we had Jeremy on finally a few weeks ago. That was a lot of fun, and we finally hit 1 year, which is surreal. And over on my channel, I'm gonna be hitting 1 year in a couple weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
What
yeah,
have
no,
you learned the most? What's been your number one thing you learned?
um, probably just getting better at speaking. Trying to trying to find entry points. Don't try to try not to talk over someone else. Things like that. We've gotten a lot better over on the GCA. Our first episode was a total shit show. Um, but I used to get
The growing
nervous
pain.
getting on streams, but now I don't get nervous anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just got to make it your own. you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But,
And then what do you got going on this week?
This week, so I just finished watching Solo Leveling. Excellent show, by the way.
Oh, it's
Highly
so good.
recommend it. If you like gaming even a little bit, I think that it's actually a really good anime to get into. If you don't even know anything about anime, even though it's a Korean and not technically anime, I guess. But
It's still anime. The reading, the visual, the
yeah,
comic version is where the names differentiate.
whatever it is anime like, and it's fantastic. Highly recommend it. And thank you for reminding me. I need to finish Reacher. I think I only have a couple episodes left on that. I am looking forward to. I don't know if we have a release date yet, but the Terminal List is going to
Oh, yeah.
have their prequel, which is called Dark Wolf.
That might be good.
I wish we were getting season 2, which would be the True Believer book, because I actually read that after watching the Terminal List. I had needed to know what happened next, and
Oh, cool.
the Jack Carr writes really good books if you're wanting to get into reading. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do audiobook if he's got it on that. If he's got it on Audible or whatever.
I
even on
bet you
YouTube.
he does.
YouTube has it too, where you can listen to some stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, come check me
Cool.
out over on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, ABF's on a bunch of people's different shows regularly, and then he's got his own, and he hops on other people's. So yeah, he's a good one to follow. Good guy. Tiny, what's happening?
Well, I'm here every Thursday. I mean, sorry, fucking Sunday. Wow, my brain just glitched. I actually don't do anything on Thursday, so I have no idea why I said that. I'm here every Sunday. You can find me every Friday on insert title here. It's 9:30 Pacific on Drunken Emerald Arrows channel. We now have a show on Tuesdays for Nerds on the News. So just talk about whatever's in the news. Every other Saturday. We didn't have it this Saturday, so next Saturday we have Dungeons and Dragons Curse of Strahd on Full Metal Nate's channel, where we're finishing up season 2 of our campaign, and it's a lot of fun, and we interact with our chat a lot, and you get to watch all of us turn evil. It's been kind of fun. I'm also late night trivia with Mr. Burger on Mr. Burger's channel, like 11:50 p.m. Saturday nights. And that's a lot of fun with the trivia, and you get to watch me love the music and not remember anybody's names correctly. I get laughed at a lot, but that's kind of why I'm there. And speaking of Mr. Burger, we have a animated TV show. It's half an hour episodes, very adult, and it's all of the animation is done. I'm one of the voice actors, and I'm helping to produce it. And we just have a little bit of that left. And as soon as I am legally allowed to release some clips, y'all will be the first to see it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm excited for that. Yeah, it sounds like we're all working on some cool projects. Alf, what's happening?
Yes, I am Horny Alf. I do gaming content. Normally I stream on Mondays, and lately Mondays has been my Skyrim playthrough nights. But I changed things up. I played Skyrim today before this stream, so I can take tomorrow off, because Tuesday night I'll be playing ladies' night with a few ladies. I've got Untamed Mando, Know Me Without You, and Sevi. We're all going to be playing some Phasmophobia. So stay tuned for that. Wednesday, I normally play War Thunder, which is a World War II, Korean War, modern day like combat game with ships, planes, and airplanes. Ships, planes, and tanks. And then Fridays, it's kind of we've been playing Dark Tide or Starship Troopers. But other than that, that's what I got going on.
Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm traveling. I'm on assignment right now up in the mountains, fighting some mountain lions and goats and bears and whatever. So I'm in the dreaded mountain time that I was told doesn't exist, or why should it exist? So
yeah.
But yeah, so I'll be doing a lot of adaptive skiing. So I don't know how much content I'll be able to put out. Whatever I get, I'll try to upload, and then in the next couple of weeks, kind of play with some editing and music and stuff like that, putting that on my YouTube Operation Outstanding in Field channel. So look for that. And then coming in May, so April starting soon, I'm working on the planning for, it's an EFAP style, the animated series of all the DC ones. So starting with Batman, the animated series, what happened next? Superman, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and then going into the films and stuff like that intermittently. So planning out that. So if anybody's interested, Comics Daddy kind of mentioned a little bit of interest in those. So we can talk about that. But yeah, it's going to be like a weekly EFAP style show. It won't be live, but then I'll put it out and play with some editing, some fun stuff. So if you got some creative skills too, bring them to the table and we'll make something cool.
I do funny voices. That's about all I got for you, man.
All right. Well, that'd be fine. We can do impressions. We can do your own Joker, Mark Hamill impression. We'll have a contest for that.
I'll try and dust it off and see what I can make happen.
There we go. But no, it was an awesome conversation. Thanks for jumping on here. I like these conversations. Talk about good stuff, bad stuff, nerdy stuff, all across the board. I learned something new from everybody each time I do this. So thank you, audience. Thank you, panel members. Thank you, co-host. ABF for the memberships. We should do some kind of membership.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Coming up, we should do something like that to celebrate all these new members. But for everybody, thank you. And Horny Alf, thanks for the intro outro. So let's.
Yep. So for those who missed our new intro, I put it on the outro as well. So check it out as we go out. All right. See ya.
And Tiny's the show.